Your enemy's identity has been hidden until now. Archangel Michael has intercepted their plans, but if you don't watch this immediately, their curse may still reach you. This message is not for everyone. It has found you because heaven has marked you. There are moments when the veil between the seen and unseen grows thin, so thin that even the whisper of heaven feels like thunder to the one whose spirit has been tuned to listen. And this is one of those moments. You didn't stumble across this message by chance. You didn't click this because of curiosity. You were drawn, summoned, because the time has come. This word carries a frequency only the chosen can detect. If you're here, it's because your name was whispered in the courts of heaven, and a decision was made. You must be warned. Before the sun rose, before the city awoke, before the world stirred, there was movement. There was a shift in the atmosphere. A scroll was opened, and Archangel Michael moved. I speak as one who saw it. A veil was torn. A plot was uncovered. A shadow fell over your name, but the light was stronger. There had been an enemy operating in silence, a presence you could feel but could never name. They have sent word curses. They have stirred confusion. They have aligned with spiritual powers in dark places, all without revealing their face. They hid in familiarity. They moved in your proximity. And yet, heaven recorded it all. This is not a general message. This is not an echo to the masses. This is not a soft word of comfort. This is a sealed warning, a divine dispatch marked with fire for the chosen only. You must be still now. You must be silent. You must be obedient. Because the curse that was launched is still hovering. It was intercepted, but your next moves will determine whether it finds a new path into your life or whether it is shattered completely under the authority of heaven's order. The clock has started. The hour of testing has come. You must hear this in full. You must act in spirit. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. Archangel Michael has intercepted a dark plan meant for you. Heaven has moved on your behalf. Not later. Not eventually. Now. A divine interruption has occurred in the spirit realm, an interception of demonic communication, a severing of spiritual wires, a rerouting of curses back to their origin. It was Michael, the chief warrior of heaven, who stood at the breach and unsheathed his sword. This was not a coincidence. This was a counterattack. In the last 24 hours, your name was heard in more than one realm. A whisper in darkness. A name used in foul incantations. A target spoken over altars not built by God. But just as the enemy moved, so did heaven. The timing is no accident. Heaven has now released this message with prophetic urgency, for you must know what has been intercepted, and what may still attempt to find you if you move incorrectly. Hear this. Within the next 48 hours, the spiritual climate surrounding your life will shift. Something is coming. Something that was meant to take you out emotionally, mentally, even financially. A scheme that was authored in the shadows, plotted through familiar voices, and cloaked in deception. But heaven refused to allow it to proceed unchecked. Michael moved at the command of the Most High. And now, you must move in response. Heaven doesn't war where it will not also war. The moment Michael's sword struck the invisible curse meant for you, a divine record was opened. You were listed. Your name, sealed in glory, was identified as endangered. And where there is danger, heaven sends angels. Where there is targeting, heaven sends divine intelligence. Where there is warfare, heaven sends strategy. This message is not a trend. It is not entertainment. It is not mass-produced spirituality. This is not for everyone. This is a scroll for the sensitive, a few, the marked, the ones who feel the pull even now in their spirit, the ones whose sleep has been interrupted by something they could not name, the ones who look at the people around them and sense that not all smiles are genuine, not all words are clean, not all alliances are divine. You are not crazy. You are being awakened. You are not paranoid. You are being prepared. This interception was not random. It was ordained. Because you've reached a threshold, a boundary in the spirit, a door they tried to close but heaven is forcing open. And now, as heaven has warned, it calls you to stillness, to silence, and to discernment. Listen closely. Michael's sword is drawn. The armies of the Lord are surrounding your territory. The angels are not just visiting, they are encamping. They are watching every word, every glance, every intention spoken over your name. The winds are no longer neutral. The skies have begun to churn. Spiritual turbulence means prophetic transition. Not all will understand what you feel right now. Some will scroll past this message, thinking it is exaggerated or theatrical. Let them. They are not the ones marked. They are not the ones targeted. But you are the one heaven has awakened in time. You are the one for whom the bell rings in the spirit. You are the one whose name was spoken in the war room of the king. This is the hour where revelation meets responsibility. Heaven has spoken. The sword has fallen. Now listen closely to what happens next. Type "I am guarded" in the comments if this word finds you. Blessing code 717 have been activated around your house. They smiled at you, but their heart plotted differently. These words echo now like thunder rolling in the distance, because heaven has revealed what your spirit already knew but your mind hesitated to face. The enemy's disguise was closeness. The strategy was familiarity. This is why you've been feeling the heaviness without evidence, the tension without a visible cause, the restlessness in your sleep without a clear reason. It was not random. It was a signal. Heaven was trying to awaken you to the reality of a hidden attack, and now the curtain is being pulled back. Someone hath been moving in secrecy. Someone hath been speaking your name in places where you were not present. Someone hath been aligning with powers of darkness, smiling before your face but sharpening weapons behind your back. You have felt it in your chest, a tightening, a sudden heaviness at odd hours, a sense of being watched even in solitude. This was not your imagination. These were vibrations of spiritual hostility. When gossipers whisper, when watchers stare, when envious hearts conspire, their words do not die in the air. They become energy, they become arrows, they become curses. And you, marked for elevation, were targeted as their next obstruction. But heaven did not leave you vulnerable. Heaven had been intercepting their messages before they reached their full strength. Heaven has been exposing their plans in fragments, allowing you to sense before you see, to discern before you are deceived. You must understand the depth of this mystery. Not every enemy is distant. Some sit at your table. Some speak in your ear. Some wait for your vulnerability to become opportunity. and yet heaven sees every hidden exchange. Heaven records every word muttered in secrecy. Heaven does not forget. In the courts of the Almighty every plot is written, and every plotter is weighed. This is why your dreams have shifted. This is why your heart hath been unsettled. This is why random memories of people you have not spoken to in months have surfaced again. They are not random. They are signals. They are divine notifications from the unseen realm. Now you are being invited into a season of spiritual maturity, where your emotions must follow your discernment. Do not let the tears of betrayal blind you to the clarity of warning. Do not let the smiles of familiarity deceive you into silence. You are called to be still, but you are also called to be awake. Silence is your protection. Discernment is your weapon. Heaven is revealing the truth not so you may accuse, but so you may align. Your power is not in shouting your suspicions, but in sealing your spirit and withdrawing your energy from every hidden enemy. You are not alone in this disruption. Michael is not just intercepting curses. He is also intercepting lies, words, and false agreements spoken over you. There are conversations you were not supposed to hear, but heaven is letting you feel the vibration of them. There are traps that were laid for you, but heaven is causing them to spring shut before you arrive. This is the hour of exposure. This is the hour when masks slip. This is the hour when heaven removes the cloak from the one who has been standing too close with wrong intentions. Do not be afraid when the truth surfaces. You have been chosen for preservation, and this disruption is your proof. Your soul's discomfort was not punishment. It was protection. The heaviness was a shield. The restless nights were alarms. Heaven speaks first in the spirit, then in the natural. And now, as you hear this word, you know it resonates because it is happening even now. Heaven has uncovered the scheme, and it will not stand. But your role is obedience. Your role is quiet strength. Your role is to protect the anointing upon you by not feeding what heaven is killing. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated around you. This is the moment where heaven is moving on your behalf, intercepting curses and exposing hidden enemies. As you are receiving this prophetic word, you are also standing in the gap for others who need to hear it, but haven't yet. Every seed you sow into this mission becomes like breaking into someone else's darkness. When you give, you are not supporting a channel, you are fueling a rescue. It is like sowing into fertile soil. Your gift becomes a sword in someone else's hand. Right now, the river of revelation is flowing, and by standing with us through Super Thanks, membership, or through the PayPal link in the description, you are sowing into souls, not into us. Heaven sees your obedience and multiplies your seed. This is not a donation. It is a prophetic act. Move with heaven and heaven moves with you. You must understand this deeply. What you are experiencing is not punishment. It is promotion in disguise. This conflict, this pressure, this sudden surge of resistance, it is spiritual warfare, yes, but more than that, it is a divine test. The chaos surrounding your life is not happening because you're off course. It's happening because you are dangerously close to stepping into a place of irreversible breakthrough. The enemy has sensed what's coming, even before you have fully seen it. That's why the attacks intensified. That's why the whispers multiplied. That's why certain people shifted and changed without explanation. This is not just emotional warfare. This is elevation warfare. This is what happens when your name is spoken in the courts of heaven. When God begins to move a person into destiny, heaven doesn't just record it, hell reacts to it. The pressure you feel is the weight of prophecy. It's the pull of your future trying to manifest through the clutter of your present. You are not under attack because you're weak. You are under attack because you are becoming dangerous. Your very presence has started to shift the atmosphere in places that have been stagnant for years. You walk into rooms and demons flinch. You speak, and things move in the unseen. You pray, and heaven responds. And this is why the enemy has launched hidden curses, disguised sabotage, and emotional warfare. But hear this clearly, heaven saw it all. Nothing has slipped past the eyes of God. Every betrayal, every lie, every manipulative move, they have all been recorded. The watchers of heaven never sleep. While you cried alone, the scrolls were being updated. While you doubted yourself, angels were already being dispatched. While you questioned the storm, heaven was orchestrating your rescue. Your silence was not weakness, it was divine strategy. Your isolation was not abandonment, it was separation for preservation. This is a divine framing. Heaven is framing your conflict in glory. You are not being buried, you are being planted. And when you come forth, it will not be as who you were, but as who you were always meant to become. The fire was never meant to burn you. It was meant to reveal what could not be consumed. You are coming out with power. You are coming out with discernment. You are coming out with new authority, because what has tried to break you only confirmed your identity. They thought no one saw. They thought no one heard. But heaven saw it all. God recorded every motive behind every word. He weighed every hand that reached for you, not to help you, but to harm you. And he has issued a divine verdict. You shall not be touched. You shall not be cursed. You shall not be delayed. Not because you are perfect, but because you are chosen. You are preserved by heaven's order. The enemy planned for your silence to be your suffocation, but heaven has turned it into your shield. Now, your role is simple, but sacred. Obey in stillness. Protect your oil. Do not engage where heaven is removing. Do not argue with those God is exposing. When heaven elevates you, it also eliminates the unnecessary. Do not mourn what God is cutting off. Do not chase what is being pulled away. The more you try to hold on to what heaven is dismissing, the more delayed your destiny becomes. This battle was never about the person who hurt you. It was about the power you were about to walk into. They were simply the tool the enemy used to try to distract you. But now the game is over. The veil has been lifted. The truth has been revealed. You are in the final stretch before manifestation. Every battle hath been framed by God's glory. Every fire, every tear, every rejection, it was the wrapping paper of your next anointing. Type I am protected in the comments if this word confirms what you already felt. Blessing code 1010 is now resting upon you. Hear me now with every part of your spirit wide awake. Within the next 72 hours, the atmosphere around you will shift. Something is moving. Something has been set in motion. A spiritual alarm has sounded in the heavens, and the next phase of the enemy's plan, though intercepted, is searching for an entry point. It was crafted in silence, laced with deception, and timed to strike you when your guard was down. But God has not allowed that plan to manifest in full. Because of the divine interception by Archangel Michael, the arrow was stopped mid-flight. The assignment was interrupted. The communication lines between the enemy and their dark altar were severed. Yet what was initiated in darkness is now stirring, restless, searching for a door, and you must not become that door. There is a pressure building in the unseen. You felt it, haven't you? That strange weight in your chest. That unexplainable pressure behind your eyes. That sudden silence between people who used to call often. That inner nudge telling you to withdraw, to watch, to wait. That's not anxiety. That's not imagination. That's the warning before the wave. That's the echo of spiritual warfare attempting to finish what it started. But it will not succeed if you obey. The plan escalates now. What was whispered is now being pushed forward. The people the enemy used, the watchers, the manipulators, the accusers, they are moving again. One of them, the one you least expect, has been activated like a puppet pulled by invisible strings. Do not be shocked when their true nature emerges. Do not be confused when their tone changes or their presence becomes inconsistent. These are not human mood swings. These are spiritual triggers. Something was sent to test your discernment and bait your reaction. But you must remember, this is not a battle of flesh and blood. Michael's sword has drawn a line. You are under divine surveillance. But with this protection comes divine instruction. You must not retaliate. You must not explain. You must not chase clarity from people God is removing. In this hour, your silence is your security. Your withdrawal is your weapon. Do not give language to what God is confronting in the Spirit. The more you speak, the more you risk opening a door to what heaven already locked. And yes, it will feel uncomfortable. Yes, it may feel unjust. Yes, the weight may increase before the release comes. That is part of the spiritual purge. That is part of the shifting. The curse that was crafted was intricate, wrapped in words spoken behind your back, layered in intention, carried by someone who knew your weaknesses. But hear me, it hath been intercepted. Still, the residue is trying to attach itself to your emotions, your decisions, your conversations. And that's where your power must rise. Your obedience in this moment, your silence, your stillness, your decision not to engage, will determine how long this lingering force stays near you. It is circling, but it has no landing spot unless you give it one. And what it seeks is not just access, but reaction. Because your reaction would give it a foothold. But your refusal to speak, your choice to pray, your discipline to stay hidden in God's presence, these become your spiritual armor. This is the hour where decisions matter more than declarations. What you do in silence will echo louder than any words you speak. Let them wonder why you fell silent. Let them misread your stillness. Let them talk. Heaven is not asking you to defend yourself. Heaven is asking you to obey without interruption. Because the curse may have been powerful, but it was not stronger than the hand that stopped it. It was not stronger than Michael's sword. It was not stronger than the seal God placed on your destiny. The 72-hour window is not to be feared. It is to be honored. These next few days are critical. Stay guarded. Stay hidden. Stay silent. The storm will pass, but only if you do not open the door to let it in. The enemy has escalated their effort, but God has elevated your protection. Now it is your turn to respond by standing still. Type "I will not open the door" in the comments if you are standing in agreement. Blessing code 8844 is surrounding your decisions. Be still. Heaven fights when you don't. The instructions are simple, but sacred. The danger is not past. It has been paused. The curse that was forged in silence still seeks a door. The plan that was intercepted by Michael has not disappeared. It is looking for another way in. And so now, you are being called, not to speak, not to retaliate, not to explain, but to withdraw into divine silence, to step into the shadow of the Almighty, where the enemy cannot reach, and where your voice becomes a shield rather than a sword. This moment is not about proving who you are. This is not about winning a conversation or defending your name. This is about sealing your spirit in divine protection and trusting that what God blocked, He will also destroy. If you remain under His instruction, you've been called to silence not because you are weak, but because your words are too powerful right now. The enemy is lurking, listening, lurking for any sound, any leak, any emotional outburst they can twist and use as legal access to your life. The less you speak, the less they can use. The more you speak, the more ground you surrender. There is power in your quiet. Heaven has surrounded you with a hedge, but it can be broken with the wrong alignment. The one who was sent to betray you is still watching, still waiting, still listening. Do not post about it. Do not call them out. Do not text what God told you in the secret place. The secret place is called secret because revelation loses its power when exposed prematurely. Right now, your quietness is your weapon. Your silence is your safety. You must hide yourself in the light. There are angels assigned to your stillness. They are not moved by your opinions or your explanations. They move at the sound of obedience. And when you obey God's instruction to stay quiet, to step back, to retreat from unnecessary battles, they are activated. Your job is not to fight. Your job is to stay undercover. Heaven is the one bringing justice. Heaven is the one handling your name. Heaven is the one preparing a table before you, in the presence of those very enemies who still think their curse is active. And do not be fooled, the curse was real. It was spoken with intention. It was designed to distract and delay you. It came from a heart that once pretended to love you. It came through a vessel the enemy knew you trusted. But what they did not calculate was the shield around your life. Heaven has sealed you in light. The curse may have been spoken, but it could not land. Because light repels what is born in darkness. Because the covenant over your life is stronger than the witchcraft sent against it. Because your obedience has been louder in heaven than the enemy's incantation in hell. Now you must speak over yourself with divine affirmations, not to others, but into the atmosphere of your life. Say it out loud in the hidden place. No curse can cross heaven's seal. I am hidden in light. I am shielded by fire. I am unshakable under the hand of the Most High. These words, whispered in private, carry more authority than any public declaration, because it is in the secret place where angels draw near. It is in the stillness where heaven gives its next instruction. And it is in the quiet where the enemy loses control. You are in a holy moment now. This is your time to retreat, not in fear, but in force. The spiritual realm is still active. The final blow has not yet been delivered. But it will not come through your hands. It will come through your silence. You are not losing ground. You are gaining heaven's trust. You are not being passive. You are being preserved. The strategy of this hour is not louder warfare, but deeper stillness. So rest. Pull back. Say nothing. And know this: what is hidden in God cannot be touched by man. What is protected by angels cannot be reached by demons. And what is sealed in light cannot be cursed in darkness. Type "I am hidden in light" in the comments if you receive this guidance. Blessing code 3366 has been released over your household. You are not who they think you are anymore. What they cursed was a version of you that no longer exists. What they tried to stop was a past version of your spirit, unaware of its authority, unsure of its power, still second-guessing its assignment. But now you are awakening. And as you awaken, something ancient, something divine, something unstoppable is rising from within you. The fire of purpose, the oil of destiny, a weight of calling. You are not the victim of their schemes. You are the proof that no scheme formed against the chosen can prevail. Yes, you felt the pressure. Yes, you wrestled in silence. Yes, you questioned why you were the one being targeted, why the warfare was so personal, so precise, so painful. But the answer is not in the attack. It is in your identity. You are not under attack because you are weak. You are under attack because you are being crowned in the Spirit. The enemy does not waste weapons on the irrelevant. He only targets what he fears. And you have become a threat. Your wings are unfolding. The heaviness you've carried, it was not the enemy's weight. It was your glory expanding. That fire in your chest, that was not stress. It was your spirit catching flame. You are stepping into a dimension of authority that cannot be borrowed, taught, or imitated. It is forged in silence. It is refined in resistance. It is born through betrayal. Heaven does not place crowns on untested heads. And you, beloved, have been tested. The very attacks sent to destroy you became the final confirmation of your transformation. Let every tear that fell in secret now become the oil upon your crown. Let every false accusation, every betrayal, every moment of abandonment become the proof of your survival. Because the enemy thought he could stop your becoming. But your becoming was never rooted in their approval. Your elevation has never been tied to their validation. What they tried to stop was not your name, but your rising. And still, you rise. You are stepping into authority even as they plot. You are climbing even as they whisper. You are soaring even as they attempt to sabotage. And the beauty of it is this: they will have to watch. They will have to witness what they tried to prevent. This is the season where God prepares the table, not behind closed doors, but in the presence of those who tried to shut the doors. The enemy has lost access to you because you have outgrown the disguise they once recognized. The version of you that they had permission to attack no longer exists. You have shifted. You have shed the weight of needing to be understood. You have shed the fear of walking alone. You have even shed the desire to explain yourself. And now you walk differently. Now you speak with fire. And now you wait on God's timing, not man's approval. Now you carry the presence of heaven like a robe. And this is your strength, that even when you didn't understand the warfare, you stayed faithful. Even when you were tired, You didn't curse God. Even when you felt abandoned, you still whispered his name. That loyalty in the fire, that obedience in confusion, that silence in betrayal, it has elevated you above your enemies. It has marked you with glory. It has surrounded you with fire. Now, your wings are unfolding. Now, your enemies are beneath your feet. Now, your identity is untouchable. You are not just surviving the curse. You are walking in victory with the curse under your feet. The very pit they dug is now becoming your platform. The very lie they told is now becoming your testimony. The very storm they sent is now pushing you into a sky they could never enter. You are rising. You are chosen. You are walking in glory they never saw coming. Type "I have risen" in the comments if this word resonates in your bones. Blessing code 7777 has ignited around your purpose. Heaven exposed their names because your season is shifting. What was once hidden has now been uncovered, not for your entertainment, but for your elevation. The veil has been lifted not so you can react, but so you can rise. This unveiling is not about petty vengeance, it is divine justice. The ones who moved in shadows, the ones who whispered your name in strange places, the ones who smiled before you and plotted behind you, they have been named in the course of heaven. Michael did not move without cause. The sword was not drawn in vain. It was an attempt, a real attempt, to deter your destiny. But heaven refused. And now, as the revelation unfolds, you must understand, this is your unlocking. You were not supposed to see the faces. You were not supposed to hear the conversations. But heaven intervened because your time has come. You are standing on the edge of promotion. And with every elevation comes the necessary exposure of sabotage. God never lets you step into your next with snakes still coiled in your circle. He exposes before he exalts. And now, the exposure has begun, not to cause fear, but to confirm your shift. This is your moment of divine unlocking. Doors that were sealed are breaking open. Chains that held your name in cycles are snapping in the spirit. Assignments that were delayed are now being released. Blessings that were suspended are descending. You are not just stepping into a new chapter. You are stepping into a new dimension. And that dimension required revelation. You had to see who they really were. You had to feel the pressure. You had to carry the burden, because only pressure births purity. And now, heaven is speaking with thunder. Your name has been spoken in the throne room. Not with judgment, not with wrath, but with honor. You have been called by the King. And when the curse was launched, it was Michael who stood up and said, "Not this one." You must understand what that means. Out of all the millions, you were preserved. Out of all the targets, your curse was intercepted. Out of all the warfare, your identity was defended. You are not just seen. You are not just known. You are anointed, marked, preserved, and watched. And what comes next? Manifestation. The spiritual has aligned. Now, the natural will follow. You will see sudden shifts, open doors, unexpected favor, reversal of losses, divine alignments. You will feel the change. The weight that has sat on your chest will lift. The resistance that has circled your plans will break. And the authority that has hovered over your life will come to rest fully upon you. This is not a maybe. This is not a possibility. This is prophecy being fulfilled in real time. Do not look back now. Do not second-guess the revelation. Heaven reveals to prepare, not to provoke. You are being invited into full awareness because you are being invited into full access. The exposure was not the end. It was a beginning. Let your faith rise now. Let your posture shift now. Let your speech reflect the revelation. You are being unlocked. And what they tried to shut is being thrown wide open. Type "I am unlocked" in the comments if this prophetic revelation has found you in season. Blessing code 5555 is surrounding your shift. What you just heard wasn't just a message, it was a moment of divine unlocking. And if this revelation stirred your spirit, it means you were meant to receive it. But now, it's time to multiply it. When you support this mission, you're not giving to a channel. You're sowing into the spiritual deliverance of souls who haven't heard their warning yet. Every super thanks, every membership, every PayPal gift link in the video description becomes a weapon of light. Heaven watches the hands that help spread its voice. As the word says, those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. This is your moment to sow into divine soil. Heaven is releasing blessings on the faithful. Release what's in your hand, and watch what God releases over your life. Move now. Don't wait. Act like you believe the word that found you. Heaven waits for your yes. This is not the time to hesitate. This is not the hour to doubt what has already been confirmed in the Spirit. You are standing at the edge of fulfillment. Everything you have endured, every battle, every betrayal, every silent night of weeping, it has brought you to this threshold. And now, heaven is extending an invitation. Not just to survive, but to step fully into your assignment. This is your moment of activation. This is your moment to rise, to speak, to align your life with the destiny God has carved for you since before time began. Here is a weight to this season. Not a weight of burden, but a weight of glory. You can feel it pressing against your chest, can't you? That stirring, that call, that sudden discomfort with mediocrity. It is not frustration, it is divine agitation. The Spirit is awakening you because your purpose is now time-sensitive. The enemy's attacks were designed to wear you out before this point, to make you quit, to cause you to doubt the very calling that is now ready to emerge. But look at you. You're still here, still standing, still listening. That's proof that the curse failed and destiny prevailed. Now heaven is asking for your response, not with noise but with alignment, with discipline, with commitment, with a yes that echoes in your lifestyle, not just your lips. This is your moment to declare, I am available. I am ready. I accept the mantle. Because the mantle is hovering. The assignment is circling. The next level of your identity is waiting to fall upon you, but it requires more than desire. It requires divine agreement. God is not looking for perfection. He's looking for availability. He's looking for vessels who will surrender without conditions, obey without delay, and follow without needing every answer first. You don't have to understand every detail to walk in destiny. You don't have to be fully healed to be used. You don't have to have it all figured out. What you need is willingness. What you need is consecration. What you need is that unshakable inner whisper that says, I may not know what's coming, but I trust the one who called me. And when you move like that, when you choose silence over sabotage, obedience over opinion, worship over worry, heaven responds with acceleration. This is why the enemy worked so hard to confuse you, to tie your identity to your pain, to trap your calling in your trauma. But today, you are breaking free, not by force but by surrender, not by proving who you are, but by stepping into who God says you are. The curse could not delay this moment because destiny overrules darkness, and your name has already been sealed into what heaven has decided you shall become. It's time to activate what's inside you. Pray in silence, fast in secret, declare in private until your identity becomes undeniable in public. Don't seek applause, seek alignment. Don't chase clarity, chase the presence. Heaven isn't waiting for your performance. Heaven is waiting for your yes. The yes that costs. The yes that stretches you. The yes that makes you turn off distractions and tune into divine instruction. The yes that alters your posture and reshapes your priorities. Do not retreat now. Do not go silent in fear after heaven revealed the truth. This is not the time to shrink. This is the time to stand in the knowledge that you were chosen for this hour. You were selected for this assignment. The attacks only revealed how dangerous your future truly is, and the blessing you're about to walk into. It was preserved for this exact version of you, not who you used to be, but who you've now become through the fire. Type yes, Lord, in the comments if you're stepping into your calling. Blessing code 2323 is opening your next gate. While you sleep, heaven speaks. While you cry, heaven records. While you war in silence, heaven moves in power. There is a realm above this realm, a dimension where battles are fought in silence and victories are exchanged without public display. And right now, in that invisible realm, something sacred is happening on your behalf. The things you thought you lost are being traded back. The moments you thought were wasted are being counted. The strength you thought had vanished is being renewed in silence. This is not just recovery. This is divine exchange. This is the supernatural trade of justice, and it's happening whether you feel it or not. You see, your weeping wasn't weakness, it was currency. Your silence wasn't empty, it was strategy. Your surrender wasn't defeat, it was an invitation. And heaven responded. Behind the veil, while your enemies slept easy in their assumptions, angels stood over the ledgers of your life. What was taken was measured. What was broken was noted. What was spoken against you was weighed in the balances. And now heaven is settling accounts. There is a holy exchange underway. Things are being reordered. Territories are being reassigned. And everything the enemy thought they stole from you is now being converted into compensation by divine law. This is the secret war that most never see. The silent exchange where curses return to their senders and blessings return to the rightful heirs. Heaven is not moved by noise. It is moved by alignment. And because you chose not to fight in the flesh, heaven has fought in the spirit. Because you chose obedience over vengeance, Michael stepped into the courtroom and spoke your name. Your tears collected. Your prayers echoed. Your silence multiplied. The exchange has begun. And what is coming back to you is greater than what you lost. That lingering feeling you've carried. That sensation that something is shifting but you can't quite explain it. That sudden emotional pressure in the middle of the night. That sudden surge of memory. The way you keep revisiting old pain with new clarity. These are not coincidences. These are signals. You are experiencing the aftershocks of a spiritual transaction in progress. Your spirit is detecting a shift that your mind has not yet named. This is not anxiety. This is activation. Your soul recognizes that something old has ended. Something new hath been released. And the shift is in motion. There is no need to beg for justice. It's already being delivered. There is no need to retaliate. The hand of God has already moved. There is no need to chase after what left. What walked away was never meant to carry your next level. The tears you cried over it became the very offering that triggered heaven's reward. And now, everything that looked like it was being taken from you is being traded back in a higher form. God doesn't just return what was lost, He upgrades it. He doesn't just give you what was stolen. He multiplies it until the thief regrets ever touching your life. But it happens silently, not in the noise, not in the drama, but in the hidden places, where only those who endure in obedience can access it. You must protect your posture in this hour. Do not break the silence with emotional outbursts. Do not interrupt the exchange by trying to explain your process to people who cannot understand your warfare. This transaction is sacred, and it requires your cooperation. Keep still. Keep watching. Keep praying. Your obedience is securing the exchange. Your peace is fueling the transfer. Your silence is building the bridge between your suffering and your glory. The scrolls are still open. The records are still being reviewed. Heaven is not finished blessing you. And though it may feel quiet, though nothing may look different around you yet, something is already shifting within you. That's how you know the exchange is real. The heavens are not silent. They are working. Type "the exchange is mine" in the comments if you're receiving restoration. Blessing code 9090 is flowing into your house now. What they did will return to them tenfold. Not because you wished it, not because you cursed them, but because heaven is a realm of perfect justice, and justice has now been activated on your behalf. The enemy's plot was not just an attack on you, it was a violation of a heavenly covenant. A covenant that says, "Touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm." That law has been broken. That boundary was crossed. And now, the gavel of heaven has fallen. This is not petty revenge. This is spiritual justice. This is the rebalancing of the scales. You must understand, God is not blind to injustice. He is not deaf to the whispers spoken in secret rooms. He is not absent from the hidden betrayals or the silent assassinations of your name. He is present. He is recording. And he is not mocked. Whatever a man sows, that shall he also reap. And now, the harvest has come. They cursed you in silence, but now their words will echo back upon their own lives. They sent confusion into your house, but now clarity will flood your mind while chaos erupts in theirs. They celebrated your pain, but now your joy will increase while they are forced to watch from the sidelines. This is the law of reversal. This is the divine payback that only heaven can orchestrate. Not because you fought, not because you exposed them, but because you stayed silent, because you obeyed, because you trusted God's timing over your own emotions. The reversal is real, and it has already begun. You may not see their consequences immediately, but know this: justice is never denied in the kingdom of God. It may be delayed for a season, but it will never be denied. Your mocking laughter has been silenced in heaven's courtroom. Your secret plans are being torn apart behind the scenes. And while they tried to sabotage your elevation, heaven has accelerated it. That's the beauty of this divine reversal. Not only will the enemy fall into the pit they dug for you, but you will be raised higher because of their attempt. Yes, you will be blessed because of their betrayal. You will be favored because of their falsehoods. You will be promoted in the very area they tried to block. This is not just a restoration of what was stolen. This is a public display of vindication. God is not just healing you in private. He is honoring you in public. What was once a painful mystery is now becoming your undeniable testimony. And the very people who cursed your name will have to witness your rising. Let your heart remain clean. Do not rejoice in their downfall. Rejoice in the righteousness of your Father. He is not finished honoring those who trusted him when it made no sense. He is not done rewarding those who wept in secret but chose obedience anyway. Heaven keeps record, and heaven is generous. The divine reversal is your reward for enduring what others never saw. And while they wonder how you keep rising, let them wonder. While they whisper, let them talk. For every word they sent to break you, heaven is releasing a blessing to build you. For every lie spoken in darkness, God is releasing light over your path. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not unguarded. You are under divine reversal. Your name is being cleared. Your peace is being restored. Your hands are being filled. You will not chase what is owed to you. What is owed will find you. And when it arrives, it will come multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, not just for you, but for generations after you. Type "Justice is mine" in the comments if you feel this shift in your spirit. Lesson code 4488 is now activated over your harvest. The hidden enemy was exposed. The curse intercepted. Heaven stands guard. And now, as this divine message comes to a close, I say this with the full authority of the one who has warred on your behalf. You are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. What was sent to destroy you has now been dismantled. What was designed to entangle you has now been turned back. And what was spoken in secret against you has now been answered by thunder from the throne of God. There is nothing else you need to do but stand. Stand in the stillness. Stand in the confidence. Stand in the knowing that Archangel Michael did not move in vain. This intervention was not random. It was not mass-delivered. It was targeted, intentional, divine. Your name was on the scroll. Your cry was heard in the throne room. And your response, your stillness, your obedience, your faithfulness even when confused, was all heaven needed to seal your outcome in victory. You are no longer in the place of waiting. You have crossed into the place of becoming. And though it may not all look different on the outside yet, your spirit has already shifted. You are no longer prey. You are not the wounded one. You are not the forgotten. You are not the silenced victim of a quiet curse. You are the survivor of an unseen war. You are the one the enemy couldn't break. You are the one they tried to bind, but heaven untied. You are the one they tried to bury, but fire found you. As you step forward now, walk with the knowledge that you are sealed in light. No curse can touch what heaven has covered. No slander can pierce what God has shielded. No loss can match what is coming to you. and no enemy can block the gates that God Himself is opening. Every angel assigned to your life is now fully activated. Every door heaven has marked for you is now swinging open. And every voice that tried to rise against you is now silenced by divine decree. Speak this now, with fire and authority. I am sealed. I am seen. I am sent. I walk in the covering of the Most High. My name is known in heaven. My enemies are scattered. My season has shifted. I walk in blessing that cannot be reversed. You are released. You are confirmed. You are unshakable. Now rise. Rise from fear. Rise from confusion. Rise from delay. Because the final word has been spoken and heaven says you win. Type I am sealed in the comments if you receive this closing blessing. Final blessing code 0000 is now hovering over your destiny. If this message found your spirit, it's because you were marked to receive it. But many are still walking in darkness, unaware of the war being waged over their lives. You can be the reason someone else escapes the curse meant for them. When you give through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you're not just supporting a voice. You're releasing breakthrough into someone else's life. Just like heaven released a word to you, you now have the power to extend it to others. This is kingdom work. This is spiritual rescue. And those who sow into it are covered by the same fire that delivers it. Give boldly. Give prophetically. Give as one who knows they've just been spared and now walks in authority.